Okay, picking up from the end of episode 3. I'm actually recording a lot of these episodes in advance because in the near future I won't have as many days off. Plus, I'm also taking advantage of the house being mostly quiet. And this way I can just do a little bit of editing each night, and then by Sunday evening I can try to upload a video and get it going to getting it onto YouTube. So what we're gonna do here is get all the way out to this coast here, the coastline, I should say, this beach, and I'm going to head straight east. I'm also going to put my difficulty on this way, at least if I happen to go over what do they call it, an ocean monument. I won't have to worry about despawning those elder guardians, because they have a new drop now. They have a chance to drop the tide armor trim. Oh, hey, look, there's a boat. Land ho! Just gotta get over there. And there's what I need. Yeah, I have the right kind of extra axe. Okay, given that there are no ocean monuments out here, or anywhere, and according to Chunk Base, nothing else that I have mobs that only appear when the first generates and never again. So one time. I'm getting old. I keep forgetting lots of stuff that I just did. It's like I went to get paper towels earlier from the store, and that's the one thing I didn't get when I went to the store. But it's okay, it happens to everyone. It happens to the best of us, it happens to the worst of us. Unless you die young, I guess. That's what I dislike about these things, is you gotta get 4 saplings to get 1 tree, but once you get that, you tend to get about 5 or 6 per tree. That is if you don't have fortune. I wonder, you know what? This one I'll have to do. I wonder if these little things just generate under the tree on their own. Something just... Yep, got a cherry blossom tree. A cherry tree blossom. Or, it's a cherry sapling. Shouldn't have grabbed the carrots. Okay, and here we are at a mangrove swamp, getting some propagules, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to hear some fireworks and celebratory gunfire because at the time of this recording, it is July 4th. I don't need that. The seeds, I mean, not the date. Woohoo! It'd be funny if I get this and get the arbor trim out of here and someone's fireworks go off right at that time. Sentry! Punch 2. No, I don't need it. Okay. Okay, across this ocean, and I should wind up not too far from spawn chunks. Man, they are using a lot of fireworks next door, or across the street. Okay, this is like my third attempt at doing this clip. I'm sure you, if you watched the previous episode, you caught the text at the bottom. And if you did not, and, well, you don't have to worry about going back to click that, or check that, because I'm going to explain it. So, episodes... after getting episode 2 uploaded, that was like late Monday night that I managed to overcome some technical difficulties and get that episode uploaded. Well, the following morning, around 6, I get up, feed the cats, the dogs, and I come in here and I record episode 3, the skeleton farm thing, and I tried to keep quiet because I didn't want to disturb my dad. He was, I thought he was sleeping in the other room, and he wasn't. And everything was fine that day. There was July 3rd. no, July 4th, because it was Tuesday. Um, he talked to me a little bit here and there. At one point, he went to just jokingly call my cat a doorstop, and I caught that in the video and left it in on purpose because, um, and also on Tuesday after I recorded all I wanted to get for episode 3, I recorded a couple clips of episode 4, this one, and that was all that same day. And I was like, I'll just edit this during the week. It's fine. Well, I ended up not doing any recording Wednesday night because it was an incident with my car where someone had decided to do a little bit of road raging, and my car needs to be in the shop now. It's probably not 100% safe to drive, but the thing is that my dad let me borrow his car. He let me have the key fob, and I live with my parents. Okay, because every time I seem to get on my feet where I think I can do like finally move out of their house, the rug got yanked out from under me, and a lot of times it was self-sabotage because I don't know, like anger issues. I was never raised. My dad never taught me how to handle my anger in a healthy way. And I can't explain why. I'll do that a little bit later in this. But the following morning, the cats wake me up an hour before the alarm goes off. I feed him. I leave the house and I'm driving. I drive his car to work, and I can't get a signal in the building, in most parts of the building. And even when I'm parked in the parking lot, I have a really poor signal. Well, I get in my dad's car and I pull up my phone because I don't I don't like being in the break room. It's crowded and the noise gets to me. I would have earplugs in, and if someone was sitting next to me and their phone went off for just like it was just on vibrate, there's a tendency for it to feel like a really fast and intense increase in pressure that only lasts for about a moment, but it still feels really unpleasant. So I sit in the car. Well, I see that I have a voicemail and thinking it's the insurance company. It's my brother, and he told me that Mom went to check on Dad because his health has been poor due to diabetes, and he had several heart attacks around the time that I think before he was diagnosed with diabetes. Well, and he had a couple stents put in. And anyway, my brother had told me that my mom went to check on my dad after she got up and went to the bathroom, and he didn't respond, and she touched him, and he was cold to the touch. That's gonna take too long. And I needed to come home now, so I ran inside, notified the my manager and HR. Like I told them that I think my dad is dead, And the guy at the HR desk, he didn't pause. He didn't sound. He understood exactly. He was an older man, uh, probably in his 40s or 50s. Might even have been in his 60s. And he just, without missing a beat, he's just, go home. Don't worry about it. Go home. Uh, so I went, and as I pulled into my parking space, my mom had sent me two texts saying, 911, call me at 911. And then she calls me while I'm pulling out because, of the situation, of course. I told her I'm pulling out of my parking space. I'm leaving the parking lot right now. And she said, can you drive safe? Can you drive home safely? And I reassured her. And I said, I'm going to be there soon. And I don't remember if we said anything else, but I hung up. And I remember, well, I turned the radio on. Well, I turned to the radio instead of a CD because I always listen to CDs in cars. But I think What It's Like by Everlast was playing. And it finished, and right before I get on the highway, Gone Away by The Offspring came on. And then I get home. Well, I had to park in the street because my sister-in-law's van was parked in the street. My brother had drove it here because he has to use it for, because he doesn't have his car has not been working in years, and he's wanting to restore it. But there's the sheriff's vehicle is there with the lights on. I walk, and I don't know why this, I didn't really consciously think about it, but the first thing I did was just went up and put my arms around my mother. My sister was standing there by her. She was also crying. I think I hugged her too. And, given the circumstances, I'm pretty sure it's forgivable for it to be, for it to have been a long one. Because, guys don't hug for very long. You know, and, and plus, as a family, we're not one of them super affectionate, leave it to beaver families, that ain't us. And it is in part to my dad's PTSD. He is or was a veteran of the Persian Gulf War. He was an infantryman, combat infantry. He has the combat infantry badge. He's going to be buried in his uniform. It still has all of his patches. We had to go to a military surplus to replace one of the. It's a little notation kind of thing. It's a little emblem that goes on one of the ribbons on the uniform. Hey, cat. The one my dad called Doorstop just came in. He's been giving me hugs all day, literally. And anyway, what was I? We'd gotten that, and he's being buried in his uniform. We've got to contact the honor guard at the National Guard post for the state, the main one for the state. And apparently they're gonna. Apparently they're supposed to help us with getting things arranged for the planning for the funeral. Like the whole flag on the casket. My dad. Service was from. Well, I think I just mentioned that he was in the Gulf War, so it was from 1981 to 1991, and I was born at the end of '87, And 2 weeks after that, he had to go to Korea for a year. So I only got like the 2 weeks with my dad before he had to go to Korea, and I didn't recognize him when he came. I was a year and a half when he came home. Oh, my brother told me that this morning. No, yesterday, I think it was. Last night. I don't know. It's kind of blurring together. Um, but the oh, what was it? He said, yeah, my dad had died of a heart attack, is what it was. Sorry, I'm still kind of jumping all over the place. I'm kind of wandering aimlessly, mentally speaking. Uh, but like my dad gave like the eulogy for his own father's funeral. His father had been a missionary Baptist preacher for like 55 years and passed away on Easter Sunday of 17. Okay, that's the crazy thing. And my dad didn't cry. The, a lot of us did. He was really popular around the really small town. Cause this is, it's Arkansas. It's in the Bible Belt. Church is a huge part of life for everyone. You know, like people. Heck, even here, people will just talk about mention their different denominations and won't really care. Like, you know, it's just a cultural thing. But the I put in for my bereavement leave and it was approved almost immediately. So I am getting 3 days worth of pay, which because I have 10-hour shifts, that's that's 3/4. It's 75% of a week's pay instead of just 60 if it was like a 5 8 hour shifts for the week. But I also went in, had requested and got and received a leave of absence from work, so I don't go back to work until the 19th. So I might actually churn out a few videos. Probably not this week because we have all the arrangements to do, stuff still to do. Someone even donated a uniform because I was wanting to use my dad's discharge papers to because it has a list of everything, all the awards he had, little ribbons and stuff, and like because he was a sergeant, he had gotten something like professional advancement as an NCO, and he got it twice. Like he became a corporal when he graduated NCO school, and he later became a sergeant. And oh, come here, cat. You want on my lap? Come here, little buddy. It's okay. Come on. Oh, you're gonna make me pick you up, huh? Because you want to give me another hug. Is that it? Come here, cat. But like I keep hearing lately, that the past couple of days, that he was the sort of person who never met a stranger. Like he could strike up a conversation with anybody, Um, I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it. He was not a perfect person. Because he was in the Gulf War, and like as I stated when I was born, the the thing about it is that crap, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh well. Um, Cat, don't chew on any cords, please. The I didn't get to know my dad the way my brother and sister, they have memories of him without PTSD. Like I said, he was an infantryman. He's combat infantry badge, the blue rope on the or the blue braid or cord, blue whatever it's called, that goes that hangs from the shoulder and under the arm on some soldiers' uniforms. That's what that is. That shows that they're infantry. Um, um, no, kitty, you gotta stop trying to chew on that. I need it. But like I really only knew him post-war with the mental scars, but I'd not ever like he wouldn't tell us anything. Um, and I learned on the day he died, my mom was telling, uh, it was me, my dad's sister, and um, I think it was my brother was in the room still, or maybe it was my oldest niece, my brother's daughter. Um, the sorry, I was putting the cat back on the floor. Um, so yeah, I only got to know him when he had all the anger issues that come with PTSD, and you know being an infantryman deployed to an armed conflict. Yeah, there's stuff that I don't normally think about, but I like I understood the implications. I just never really bothered thinking about it. I never wanted to ask him because I didn't want to. I didn't want to make him think about anything he may not have wanted to think about. Uh, if that makes sense. But like there was this incident while they were over there. He was already a sergeant by this point, obviously, because how long he'd been in, and they like his unit. I don't know if it was a squad level or a platoon or what, but they go in to check to do a to like a recon of this house or something, and they're in there, and I don't know if it's that the officer in charge noticed movement under a bed, but he went to raise his weapon and was about to, you know, you know what happens when a soldier raises their weapon at somebody. And my dad put his hand out and stopped the guy and said, something about this scene. I have a feeling that something isn't adding up and something is not what it seems. And a moment later, this kid who's like 9 or 10 crawls out from under this bed I have no idea if this person is even still alive today, but um, you don't. I don't ever. It's the kind of stuff I don't think of regarding my dad, because he didn't have a lot of patience in the time that I knew him. It did take him a while to get a little bit less, angry with someone with one of us, usually me, with a simple, stupid mistake that can be easily fixed. But, yeah, because of that, I have not, because of that kind of upbringing, I have not been able to keep hold of my anger, and it's what's kept me from really trying to form a relationship where I might get married and have kids. That it's not a big deal. At least it hasn't been until recently. And I mean by I don't mean like the past few days. I mean the past, year or so. So I'm thinking that things might actually be trying to stabilize, and then my dad's health just spiraled. Am I walking it? Yeah, wrong way. But I'm going to do a quick little splice like I did with the last video. I did that to because I had occasionally my laptop runs out of memory while I'm recording and playing a game at the same time, and it's annoying, but that's why I make backups and all that. Actually, I will stop this recording and make a backup right now. And I'm back from backing up the video. Probably saw a little stutter there with the smoke particles, but yeah, like I said in an earlier video that I was doing this to just something that my nieces and nephews could all use to, because they all like Minecraft. Even my brother's oldest, who is 20. She, yeah, I got her started on it when I started playing Minecraft on PlayStation 3 back in like early 2014. Guy I worked with got me into it by introducing me to a little series called Minecraft: The Noob Adventures, and I was sold when the character Fart Garfunkel was trying to shoot the creepers or the mobs that were attacking, and they start shooting all over the place, and he's like, "I'm having connection problems." And that culminated in me doing this now. But it's now no longer just that. And I know I've said this several times while trying to record this little speech, and it's unscripted because honestly, there's no script for this kind of thing. And what I'm going to... And like I said, I wasn't really that close with my dad, despite living with him for all but like a couple months of my life. Um, well, no, there's also that first year and a half, but uh, the uh, the new reason I have for doing this is it's a coping mechanism because gaming is what I do. It's my number one pastime, like my go-to thing ever since I was about 3 years old. I was playing a Fisher Price I can remember on the NES. Um, and also tried playing Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and Zelda. Uh, my mom loves that game. That's her game. That's her thing to do. It's the only video game she'll really play. That, Dr. Mario, and Tetris. I forgot about those other two. Yeah, you sit her down with any version of Tetris and she'll play it. Um, but hold on, dog. I have to let him out in a second. Um, but yeah, I'm doing this just because it's what I've always done to keep myself happy, or the things that make me happy at a time that I'm sure most would say I need it most. So, um, you know, just you know, another little goal for myself. But my intentions for this episode, I was going to start on the stuff with the villagers. In fact, that's what I was doing when I had a crash on my last attempt that broke the file for the video. Um, but it's like 2:45 in the morning. Uh, yeah, but like my dad passed away on the 6th. His birthday was June 18th, which was Father's Day. And unfortunately, because I didn't know what I could really get him that he could do, because he was having mobility issues towards the end, like the past few months. He didn't, he stopped working in January, and just because it just hurt to move. And due to the diabetes stuff, and he had like neuropathy in his feet and stuff. Um, I'm gonna close the door on this for now. Not symbolic of anything. It was like an OCD thing. The door is open, even though it's technically open now. you know, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight. But my parents' 41st wedding anniversary is tomorrow on the 10th. And I really don't. The only thing I can really do for my mom is just spend time with her now. And what sucks is she got a job with the same company as me recently. She had just finished her
her second week on Wednesday. And I've been there for coming up on a year now, or 2 years now. Sorry, October will make 2 years. But she took a shift that is Sunday through Sunday through Wednesday, from 1:20 in the morning to uh, just before noon, because mine is like 7:30 to 6, Wednesday through Saturday. So the only time my dad would actually not have someone there would be uh, for just a few hours on Wednesday, and he'd be asleep uh, during a good part of that time. And of course, the doors would be locked. And uh, the first part of my mom's Sunday shift, because I go to my brother's house on the weekends after I get off work, and we would play D&D. Um, yeah, that's something crazy about my dad. He was a soldier, but he was also a huge freaking nerd. Um, like he liked comic books. He liked Star Wars, Star Trek. Um, I remember seeing Star Wars Episode 1 with him in the theater, because he saw the original movies when they came out, like the original trilogy when they first came out. And I don't know if I saw episode 2 in the theaters. I know I didn't see 3 in the theaters. But episode 7 came out and we went and saw that together. And it was my second time seeing that movie. And I told him, you know, it's not a perfect movie, but there are moments that will make you say wow, and moments that you will be really unhappy to see. But we went and saw it uh, in the theater, and I don't. I guess it's because of how long ago that came out. I might watch it later, even though I'm not really a big Star Wars guy. Um, the the part in the beginning where the the dude holds the phaser blast, or the blaster bolts. Phaser is from Star Trek. The blaster shot from he's just holding it there with the force while he goes and talks to the guy, and that got my dad's attention. But you know he played D&D in like the 70s and the 80s, I'm sure, and I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that I recall seeing someone with a DM screen up, and for years I didn't realize what it was, because I remember seeing this little box looking thing that looked like it had a room, like a picture of a room inside it, like an interior, like you'd see uh like furniture, tables and stuff or whatever. But I would have been like 2 or 3 at the time, not very old, and um it's only recently that I've been thinking that it may have been him playing D&D in the early 90s. Um, and we wanted to get him to play with us. Like my brother, it was me, my brother, his wife, his oldest daughter, uh, his daughter's stepbrother. Um, her mom remarried, just like my brother did, and the stepbrother is from her mom's second marriage. Um, he was playing, and this guy that was a longtime family friend of my sister-in-law's family, uh, he plays with us too. Uh, I had to DM the first, uh, January 26th made 1 year that our group has been playing together, like since we started our campaign, and it we're total noobs with it. Like we were making a whole lot of mistakes, and we're learning, and we're just trying to enjoy ourselves. Um, this weekend we are not playing because like I said, I'm going to be with my mom. Uh, oh crap, we're not playing this weekend because my brother and my mom drove up to Ohio to get my grandmother on my mother's side, the only grandparent I have left, because my mom's father passed in '86 before I was born. Um, uh, and they are returning tomorrow. Like my grandmother does not like flying, um, but my dad just turned 60 and got a couple of weeks. Got July 4th, and then he gets older, and he went. He wanted to go on. I know I said this. I'm pretty sure I said this during my last attempt to record this clip, or this part of the video. Um, I'm pretty sure you can understand what I just did, like random, like base chores, I guess, and all this, just I guess fidgeting, running around, doing not a whole lot of anything. Um, yeah, that's loud. But we are probably not gonna play at least before my mom comes back from her trip to, like, after the funeral. She's driving her mother back and driving back on her own. Uh, she'll be driving back on the 29th. I will be working that day. My brother has agreed to uh, come to the house and house sit. Because in the 18 years we've lived in this house, we've had a couple burglaries, and not too long ago, someone broke into my dad's car, stole one of his guns that he kept in there, and it was just the one night they didn't lock it. But so it was, but yeah, I always lock my car, and that's how my car is the only one that didn't have anything pilfered or taken out of it. No signs of anyone in it. Plus, I'm sure they looked in the window and saw that my car is always a mess. Because, yeah, I'm sorry to say it, I'm not an organized person. Um, it's because I'm always struggling to get out of survival mode. Like, even like the times that I go to clean my room, like at the beginning of the year, I had this, this phase where I would have the motivation to, or I had learned that motivation doesn't come before doing the task. It comes from, looking back and seeing the progress you've done so far. And I would, do just 50, I'd only allow myself to clean for like 15 minutes at a time. And I'd kind of race, and I'd had these boxes, these moving boxes that I'd had unmade for several years because I knew how I wanted to do this, but I just couldn't start. And part of it is that I was, worried because there'd be times where other parts of the house weren't cleaned, and my parents would complain that I was working on my room instead of the rest of the house. And I have a feeling that by the end of this month, this house is going to be completely cleaned. I don't know about any repairs that need to be done. There is going to be some that is going to be done in the near future. Tough hit boxes. But yeah, I'm not wanting to really do, because I've already prepped the clips I recorded for episode 4 when my dad was still alive. Um, I edited those after he passed. Um, I think I clipped out all the celebrations because this is Arkansas, in a rural area, and you're hearing more than fireworks, and YouTube has this problem with those kinds of sounds, even if it is fireworks. And I say that it's fireworks, but because they sound very similar. Uh, as someone who, like I said, I'm the son of of a former infantryman. Um, I have used such things. I think I said before. I may have said before in this attempt at recording this, that the I have qualified with an M4, if you know what that is. It requires you to place piece, a chunk of lead wrapped in copper through some objects at 300 meters away without magnification from standing, kneeling, and prone positions. Prone is where you're lying face down. I managed to do that. And I am not an outdoorsy type, really. I just stay in my room all the time. I'm not a really social person. But the I'll just give this iron pick a send off. Gotta remember not to break that part. It's no big deal if I break it, I can just grab it and put it back on. But yeah, I'm not okay right now, as you can tell from the sound of my voice. But that's okay. And as I'm sure you saw on that sign, the goal that is dead center of that room, I'm going to color code the goals with the signs and all that. But I'm going to keep going on. I'm not, this video is, it's about my momentum, and, the best way to keep going, or the best way to move on is to just keep moving. And that's what I intend to do.